So you're thinking about investing in Dubai's property market. It's exciting, right? But today, we're going to look past those glossy brochures and the big, shiny price tags. We're diving deep into the true cost of an investment and how mastering the numbers that are kind of hidden in plain sight is the absolute key to unlocking some serious returns. Let's get right into it.
This really gets to the heart of a lesson that honestly a lot of investors learn way too late. It's that sinking feeling, months after you've signed the papers where you realize the deal just isn't what you thought it was. So, the big question is, just how big is this gap between what you think you're paying and what you actually pay?
Well, here's your answer. Your total investment can balloon by 10 to 20%. Let that sink in. We're not talking about a small rounding error here. For a lot of people, that's the make or break difference between a profitable investment and a massive financial headache.
So how does this even happen? Well, it all starts with a really powerful sales tactic, making the price feel like an illusion. See, developers know that buying a home is emotional, so they show you this clean, simple, attractive number that feels manageable. But what it does is it masks the way more complex and frankly more expensive reality that's waiting just around the corner.
And that right there, that's the trap. It's so easy to do. You see the incredible view, you imagine the lifestyle, you fall in love with the dream of it all. It's a classic psychological pitfall. But this is exactly why your best defense, your best offense really, is mastering the numbers before you let your heart take over.
All right, let's get practical. We're going to break this all down with a real-world example so you can see exactly where all this hidden money is going. We're about to unpack all those typical upfront costs that so many buyers either underestimate or, worse, don't even know exist.
Okay, this is where it gets real, and it gets real fast. Let's say we're looking at a 1.5 million dirham apartment. Boom, right off the bat, you've got the 4% DLD fee. That's the government tax, totally mandatory. Then add in the 2% agency commission. Then you've got registration fees, trustee fees, and if it's an off-plan unit, there's an okud fee to register the contract. Add it all up, and you're looking at almost 100,000 dirhams in extra cost before you've even picked out a couch.
And we are not done yet, not by a long shot. Because once you get the keys, you've got to furnish the place, right? You'll probably find some issues during the inspection, that's called snagging, that need fixing. Maybe do some other fit-out work. All of that can easily tack on another 5 to 10%. Suddenly, that brochure price is starting to feel like a distant memory, isn't it?
So we've talked about the immediate shock of those upfront costs. But now we need to look at something even more dangerous, those invisible, long-term costs that can just silently eat away at your profits year after year.
These are the silent killers of your return on investment. You've got service charges that just seem to creep up every single year. Or what about handover delays? Now you're paying a mortgage on a property you can't even run out. Then you might discover the developer took some quality shortcuts, and surprise, now you've got unexpected repair bills. And even when you go to sell, there are exit costs to think about. For international investors, a sudden currency swing can literally wipe out your profit. See, each one is like a tiny leak in a boat, but put them all together and they can absolutely sink your investment.
Okay, I know this might all sound a little scary, a little daunting, but here's where we pivot. This is not about being scared of the market, it's about mastering it. This is the moment we stop thinking like a fearful buyer and start acting like a strategic investor. And really, this is the whole game right here. It's a fundamental mindset shift. On one side, you've got the uninformed buyer, totally focused on that brochure price, making decisions with their heart. But on the other side, you have the strategic investor. They're focused on the total outlay, the whole picture. They don't fear costs, they analyze them. They use data, not emotion. It's about moving from reacting to problems to planning for them before they even happen. I love this. This is such a great rule to live by. You've heard it, right? Hurry, only 3 units left. Or, this special price expires tonight. It's all just pressure. It's designed to make you rush. But here's the thing. A genuinely good deal will still be a good deal tomorrow after you've had a chance to actually run the numbers. You have to slow the process down.
And now for the best part. Let's get into the solutions. How do you take all this knowledge about hidden costs and actually use it to your advantage? How do you turn these liabilities into catalysts for building real wealth?
Here's a 4-step framework you can use. First, you take your new detailed breakdown of the total cost and you use it as leverage to negotiate a better price. Makes sense, right? Second, think about your exit strategy. Maybe you plan to sell before the handover to ride the wave of market appreciation while dodging all those post-handover costs. Third, look at service charges differently. Don't just see them as a fee. Ask, does this fee create real value that's going to attract better tenants and higher rent? And finally, number 4, from day one, have a plan for the risks. Plan for currency swings. Plan for exit costs. Be prepared.
You know, this whole strategic approach is actually becoming more systematized now. To fight back against those emotional sales tactics and all these hidden fees, new data-driven platforms like ALand, which was mentioned in our source material, are popping up. They basically integrate all the cost analysis, the due diligence, everything into one place. They do the hard analytical work for you. It's all about turning what can feel like a huge gamble into a smart, calculated investment.
And at the end of the day, that's the main takeaway. It really is. Anyone can find a property that looks good on a brochure, but a truly great deal, the kind that builds real lasting wealth, that requires you to look deeper, to dig beneath the surface, and master the details that almost everyone else misses.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you're looking at a property investment, ask yourself, are you just buying a property based on a pretty picture and an appealing price? Or are you strategically building your fortune by understanding the entire financial story? The choice and the rewards are all yours.